Today you're going to use Canva to create 3 graphics of the principles of design. So first of all, I've given you the link on the principles of design on Canvas, not to be confused with Canva. But what you'll do is you'll choose 3 of these and you're going to make 3 separate graphics. We just want to begin playing around with simple shapes and photos and text and different elements so that you begin to continue to build your understanding of what the principles of design are. So what you'll do is go to Canva and you can create a design. You can either click on create a design, again, Instagram post, Instagram story, those are ones that I've been using, so they pop up there. You could go to templates, choose social media. Honestly, for this one, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use Instagram post because I like that square format. Works pretty well. And I'm going to create a blank Instagram post. First thing that I like to do is to just create a background, and I'm just going to have a solid color just to start out. Then what I'm going to do is add a heading, and that's going to be the name of that design principle. I am going to choose from this list, so I'll look through, and don't be afraid to use one of the longer definitions. That's totally fine. For this, I'm just gonna use pattern, and so I simply could copy it if I wanted to and paste it in. Which I'm going to do. So pattern is going to be my title, and I'll get that up there and centered. I might want to change the font. I could change the effects. These are all things that you've been learning how to do. So you can choose one that works well. I'm going to choose add a subheading, and I'm going to put the definition in here. So again, I'll just go to the Principles of Design PDF that I downloaded, and I'll copy it. I just press Command C, and that's a quick way to copy, or Control C if you're on a Chromebook or a Windows machine as well. So this is getting there. Alright, I'm gonna maybe move it around a little bit. So pattern is the repeating of an object. I don't necessarily need the word is in there. And then I can play around until it fits. And again, when you're moving your objects around, you'll see guidelines that pop up, and that shows you when it's centered. And of course, I want to keep the font consistent. One rule of thumb to think about is keeping the amount of fonts to a minimum. So honestly, less is more in that. I'll probably go back and change those just to make sure that they don't clash. But now what I want to do is to build my idea of a pattern. So it's just the repeating of an object or a symbol all over the work of art. So maybe for this one, I could just do simple shapes if I wanted to do that, or icons. Let's see about snowboarding. If there's anything in there that would be kind of cool. There's a lot of pro ones. Those ones with the crown mean that you're gonna have to pay for those. If you have drawn an object or an image and want to put those in there, you could certainly do that. I think there was 1 or 2 that were free. I'll just use this for now. Okay, great. And I might change some of the different colors in there. Got nothing against pink and fuchsia. But for this one, I want to just make it look a little bit different. Let's do gray on that. And then instead of the green, how about yellow? Sure, why not? Okay, so now pattern is simply just the repeating of an object. One thing that you might want to think about is looking at, so we looked at the introduction of composition. Some of the ways that you can create composition are thinking about things like balance, as well as contrast, as well as emphasis, movement or eye movement, and things like that. Balance is really a good thing to be remembering, because you're going to choose one regardless of regardless of what other principle of design you choose. It's either going to be balanced or it's not. So do you want it to be symmetrical balance? Do you want it to be radial balance? Do you want it to be asymmetrical balance? And so what I'm going to do is just repeat these in a way, and I'm just, on mine, I'm pressing Option down to make a quick repeating object, and I can duplicate those, and I've simply now just created, I'm going to group those together, and then move this over, and that's it. Okay, so for pattern, that would totally work. I don't really like how the title, it contrasts with that type, so I think what I'll do is change it, and I'm going to use, I like that Bebas new, so I might make it a little bit bigger, maybe 88. Let's see what happens there, or if I can drag it up as well, that makes it work. Something like that. Maybe change the effects a little bit. Since we're doing pattern, why not have more repetition in there? And I think that'll work just fine. And that'll be good. That'll be good enough. So then I'll just download that, and again, you can choose either PNG or JPEG for this assignment. Great. And then you can submit your work on Canvas, and then you'll do your other one. So you could submit as you go, or submit all at once. Remember, you're doing 3 of these for this assignment.